Rahman Rahim, Rabbi Shrahli Sadri wa Yassirli Amri Wahlul Uqdatan min Lisani Yafqahu Qawli. O Allah, open up the door of wisdom on us, make our work easy, and remove the utterance of my tongue so that people should understand. Been privileged to travel across almost 25 different countries, and I gone across and met with thousands of professionals during my training and executive coaching interaction. And the most important aspect, when I was moving around, when I was traveling around, I try to see whenever I go into the organization, what are the specialty, what are the things which make some of the people extraordinarily successful in their career, what are some of the things which make some of the people extraordinarily successful in their personal life, in their family life, in their relationship. So that was my focus of my study whenever I was interacting. And to my surprise, I came to know that the people who are being able to reach to the top in the organization, in many of the instances, they are not the one who are having a lot more technical competencies and technical skills. Of course, that's required to have with someone. But the thing what I have found in the life, being consistent across the board, that these people who are being able to reach at the epitome of their success, or being able to have a very strong bond with their family and with their relationship, you know what was the thing which I discovered? As I mentioned, my dear friends, answer is loud and clear. I have found that these people were an extraordinary communicators. They have a magic of communication with them. And they are the one who can influence while they are having a talk. So, of course, when you look into that and you say, what is the thing? And you look into their character and you have found that these people are being excellent in their written and in their oral communication. Now, while I've been talking to you, think about some of the influencer in your life, some of the people which you really admire the most. Think about them. What are the most significant feature? It instantly come into your mind. What is the one thing that come into your mind? Think about it. So while you are thinking about it, you might observe that the people have a magic to connect with the people. They have a magic to instantly create a bond. Now, how they have been able to create such a bond? So, my dear friends, they have a simple magic of having a good communication. So, we are going to talk about the subject of communication today. And I would ask you that whatsoever that ideas, thoughts and the things I'm going to discover with you, it has the all summation of 30 years of my professional career. Now, what is the difference between effective and ineffective communication? What is the difference? You say this is effective communication, this is an ineffective communication. What would be the difference? The difference I'm going to talk about is that the effective communication talk about the outcome which you like to receive, the outcome you like to see. So for example, while I'm having my session with you, so I've been communicating something. Now the question is what outcome I'm looking into it. So for example, if the outcome I'm looking into that some of the ideas, thoughts, suggestions, concepts which I have shared with you, and it is been impacting you, and you've been taking it and you are applying it, and you are taking it to the family, you are taking it to the team, and you are seeing that something is working in your life, I would say this is the outcome I'm looking for. And if you are getting that outcome, I would be the most happiest, because it means that my communication is working with you. It means that we are connected together. It means that the message which I'm trying to pass it on. So again, remember, in a communication process, there is some message I'm trying to communicate. And if that message has been reached to you with the totality of my sincerity, with the totality of my energies, with the totality of the impact you are feeling right now, I would be the most happiest, because that the message which I'm trying to convey is reaching to you with the same intensity. That is communication. Now, for example, while I'm talking to you a single, simple sentences, what does it mean? Is it so simple to just simply talk about that? My dear friends, please remember, everything in this world is a learnable skill. So if we have not been focused since birth, we started talking. Since birth, we have a tongue and we started talking about that. What happened in our life? That whenever we are with the best of our intention, we are trying to do the upbringing of our kids, and we found that Our kids are not responding the way we want them. We had a lot of love for our family members. We had a lot of sincerity for our team members. But on the receiving end, we found that sometimes they are not been acknowledging that fact. So what is missing right now? It is not about the intent. It is not about the sincerity. It's about the way I'm communicating. That makes a difference, my dear friend. So this subject which I'm going to talk about, in one line I can say, and if you like to write it down, please write it down for yourself. Please write it down. That the quality of my life is directly proportional to the quality of communication which I'm having. The quality of my life is directly proportional to the quality of communication which I'm having. So there are two types of communication. In my previous sessions, I've already talked about that. One, communication which is always happening inside of myself. So if I look into myself, what communication, what self-talk is always happening in my mind? Is it positive? Is it negative? Because this communication is very important within myself. What talk is going on? What communication within myself? Second, communication which I've been doing with the outside world, which I've been doing with my colleagues, which I'm doing with my managers, which I'm doing with my family, which I'm doing with my kids. That is another communication. And we have to learn how can we improvise onto that. My question to you, and that is just to emphasize on this subject why I've been highlighting that. My question to you, have you imagined any company in this world, any commercial company, which is only producing good stuff, but they do not have any marketing department? They don't have any. Now my question is, and that question I'm going to ask you, if such company which is making a world-class products of any type, they can produce that, and they had a lot of potential, they had a lot of energy, they had a lot of skill set, but they don't have a marketing department, what is going to happen? Is it companies going to survive for long? Answer is obvious. If you had a company and not having any marketing department, it is going to be die down very soon, because there would not be any much of the customers who have been aware of what this company can produce. So if I take this metaphor and I ask you, and this question I'm going to ask you now, if you have a world-class skill set, you are the best of the best technical person in your domain, you are the one who actually can make things happen. You are the best engineer, you are the best financial analyst, you are the best of the best in your area. But one flaw, if you are not having that ability to present yourself whenever it has been required, to present your ideas whenever it has been required, to present it to the stakeholders whenever it is required, what is going to be happen? Of course, you are not going to get the benefit of that technical competence which you are having. So one of the competence, let's make it a mark. If you take my advice as a brother, I'm going to tell you, let's make it a mark that in 2023, you have to give a priority of learning a communication skill. And I can ask you that towards the end of the year, if you've been able to practice that skill, I'm going to talk to you in person. I'm going to ask you, because I know the answer, that if you have practiced that skill and if you have enhanced that craft, what is going to be happen? It is going to be change the whole paradigm shift for yourself, and you can see a lot more difference in your personal life, in your professional life. Now, whenever I talk about this communication, and I would say that let's take an example. For example, there's one craft which I'm still a student of a communication. Every day I learn something about it. And I've been very proud that I'm in a learning curve. That learning curve never stops for myself. Moving on to some of the basic fundamentals of communication. So what communication is all about? Communication, let's understand from a simple process. I have some message which I want to convey to you. So which medium I'm using? So right now I'm been speaking. There are other mediums as well. I can send you an email on that. I can write down on certain articles on it. I can leave a voice note for you. But what I'm doing right now, I'm using my speaking and I'm coding my message in my words, in my sentences, and this message is reaching to your ears. So once it reaches to you, you are processing that information, you are decoding my message, and you are getting some information, some ideas, some thoughts which are being going to you. Now imagine if we are being in the live, for example, face to face, if we are being in a classroom session. So what is going to be happen? So my session, my communication has one flaw right now. What is that flaw? That flaw is very obvious. That whatsoever the message I've been communicating to you, I'm not been able to gauge now, up till now I'm not been able to gauge that whether my message has been reached to you with the same intent, with the same intensity, with the same energy, with the same concept, with the same facts what I'm trying to convey. So what I need to have? I need to get a feedback from you. If you have ever attended any of my session, which is a live session, you might will observe one thing, what I normally do. Whenever I conduct the sessions across, I've been moving around, I've been going to a bit size of information with my class session attendees, I always ask a question. Does it sound sense to you? Maybe I use this one. Does it sound sense to you? The purpose is just to get a feedback. And sometimes I say, am I being able to convey what I'm trying to say? And sometimes people, they nod their heads, yes, it is, yes, it is. And sometimes I seek their feedback as well. So this is the way we have to take a feedback. So every communication need to have a model of getting a feedback. So what I said, every communication has one objective, that what is the desired outcome you are looking into it. If you are getting the desired outcome, it means that you are an effective communicator. Number two, in every communication, there is a message which is being coded by the sender through the words, through the sentences, through the emotions. Package reach to you, you decode it because you receive this information from all of your senses. You see it something, you hear it something, and if you are being in the classroom, you can feel something. You can also touch upon some of the work which has been given to you. So it means all of your five senses, when it is being engaged, you interpret it, and if the desired outcome I'm looking into that, I also seek your feedback. It means that I'm effective, and this is a communication simple model we have to work on.